is it? Huh? Oh, yes. Come in. No, I'd most certainly welcome a visitor. Good evening, my prince. You're looking well. I would get up to greet you, but I'm afraid I'm still a bit weak. But what are you doing here? Huh? Oh, no. Your company is not a bother at all. I was simply wondering since, well, I thought you would have been at the ball. You're even dressed up for it. I know you're quite the party goer. Huh? But I sent you a letter, did I not? I thought it would have reached your ears. I said that you could go without me and I'll enjoy the ball, you know? I would be fine. You could have gone without seeing me. Visited the next day. I see. Well, I appreciate your kindness either way. Thank you for taking the time to see me. No, it is nothing, to worry about. At all. Like I said, I'm quite used to it. It is true. I didn't think it would flare up while I was here. But it is an unpredictable sickness, after all. Well, either way, I've been on bed rest for a little while now, and I'm feeling much better. Although not well enough to dance the entire evening away. I'm glad that you're here, though. I've had a few visitors throughout the day, actually. Your brother and sister both paid me a visit while they were on their way to the second palace. For some business with the Council of Estrella, it seems. I was surprised, too. I thought they didn't act very amicably with one another from the rumors. They remind me of my own siblings. Primus and Kay, I mean. My blood siblings. Kay is rather, well, he's a bit mischievous, while Primus is a bit more rigid and rule-abiding, but they get along very well. Crown Prince Leo and Princess Theina were very kind and accommodating. Though your sister seemed to be in quite the hurry. I was surprised that she wasn't with the Queen. I heard they're almost never apart. I'm sorry. I was, blabbing away. If you would like, you could pull up a chair if you have time to chat for a little bit. How have you been, by the way? It's been a little while since I've seen you. Oh, well, I suppose you're right. I did miss you. Anyway, you must have been rather busy with your duties as prince then. I see. You were helping prepare for the ceremonies and festivities then? That's rather fun. I suppose you're right. It could be a bit of a headache to schedule everything. Making sure that everything's perfect. The Knights of Penkos are a well-known bunch, and they certainly deserve to be celebrated. I heard that the Plecteri Knight will be attending as well. I've only heard rumors, but he helped save a company of Attican soldiers during his time in the Land of Lamentation. We are grateful to him as well. Apologies. He is the Grand Duke's eldest son, isn't he? Well, my father and the Grand Duke have business ventures together. Yeah, father has a large stake in the pharmaceutical businesses within Ladle. My father also dabbles in the agriculture of Ladle as well, but otherwise I'm not quite sure what else he does. But I'm sure the Grand Duke must be rather proud of having such an amazing son. Huh? Is that not the case? Well, I certainly would be. You know, at home, there is a large window facing the eastern gate of the palace grounds, and from there I can see the training grounds. I enjoy being able to observe when I get the time to. I think it's rather nice to see the camaraderie that forms between those who wield the sword. It is a noble and, well, timeless profession. Oh, no. I've, never held a weapon in my hands before. Well, unless you count gardening shears. Well, nor do I think I could with any skill, anyhow. But I wouldn't think I'd need to either. To be fair, I think that someone with my stature and, well, fragility, it would be rather odd to see me on the battlefield with a sword in hand. Oh, certainly. I have such a threatening aura, humans would fall to their knees. You make me laugh, my prince. Besides, I'm much better suited to magic, even if it tires me. Many of my siblings have learned to wield some sort of weapon, apart from the little ones, of course. My elder sister Primus is well trained, even more than Kay is. You should see when they spar. But Kay makes up for his skill in the sword with his skills in messing with people's minds. But my father says that I have no need for any of that. He says that I'll always have him and my guards to protect me. Huh? Oh, well, I suppose that's true. While I'm here, I have a talented knight like you by my side as well. You're quite experienced, aren't you? The bow? That's quite amazing. You must be quite strong and precise to use that weapon. No, I'm not trying to flatter you, but I really do find you quite wonderful. I mean, you've even fought the Bregs before, right? Oh, I suppose we must have different names for them. I mean, the undead. That must be quite a terrifying thing. No, I have never seen one myself. I doubt father would ever allow one to come near enough for me to even make out its shape. I've only read about them, but I do find them rather interesting. Well, not quite pure fear. I suppose there is a tinge of sadness, sympathy. To be condemned to eternal pain and suffering even after you've passed, to raise your hands against your loved ones without even the slightest control. Although, I suppose it is different when you're a high brig. You have a conscience when you hurt others. But you are quite brave indeed, my prince. One day, perhaps we will understand why the undead wish to harm us, and to end their suffering. Those that tread in the land of limitation must meet their end eventually. No, I'm okay. Yes, I'm totally alright. No worries. Could you, give me that handkerchief? Apologies. Well, it is quite the unsightly scene. I did not want you to see me like this. Oh, well, that is rather kind of you to say. I'm glad that this doesn't scare you away. Thank you. No, I'm quite alright. In fact, despite this cough, I feel as if having you by my side makes me feel all the stronger. Your hand on mine makes me feel good. It is warm. I like it. I wish I could have you by my side more often. It would have been nice had you been with me a few days ago. Oh, well, I woke up feeling rather unwell. My throat felt so dry. I was absolutely parched. But drinking water seemed to be of no avail. I got weaker, and I couldn't even sit up the other day. But apart from that thirst, I had the usual symptoms of my illness. Fatigue, chills, and that awful cough, as you've seen. It feels like it's burning my insides out. Yes, I know it is concerning, but, well, I manage. I swear. No need to be worried. I promise. A few days of rest and my medicine should have me up again soon. Huh? Yes. I take daily medicine and have a separate one for severe flares. My father, as I mentioned, has stakes in the pharmaceutical business within Ladle, right? Well, my father is a well-known herbalist and healer. Before he was Prince Consort, he was a herbalist that lived in the eastern halflands, close to the Targathon Gorge. My mother was touring the lands when several of her servants had fallen ill due to blight. My father quickly swept through the town, providing treatments. Mother said she had a particular interest in his talents, and quickly swept him up into her staff. Although, supposedly, he traveled quite often, only returning when necessary. They eventually fell for one another, and he became her first love. But he has a lab here and in Ladle, though he mainly stays at home now. He's formulated quite a few medicines, including this one. It generally suppresses the symptoms I have on a day-to-day basis. It's enough so I can function and live normally. But usually, after a few months, my body becomes quite weak and is susceptible to, well, the unsavory bits of my illness. I've been well for quite a few months now, but I suppose it might just be time for my dosage to increase again. It usually takes half a year or so before I require any changes to my medication. So, I suppose I'm a few months early. Oh? Well, yes. I visit the Church of Marana 4 times a year. Spending a day or two in the land of Marai seems to cleanse me of my illness for a bit of time, though it is not permanent. And afterward, usually I'm allowed to take a different route back home into Atticus. I get to spend a day on Weirwood Island. It's like a little holiday. A tiny bit of freedom. The stars are quite bright there, and the breeze is strong as well. But now, I cannot go back there any longer. Now that Clarus has made claims of possession. Still, I'll enjoy my time spent at the church. Huh? No. I did not think the Tower of Zinguis would be interested in my illness. Do they not just research magic and the blight? No. My father said that any research they did would be useless for me. He always reassured me that Attican magic and care was enough. No. I do not think he would allow it. It is in the far northeast, is it not? It is too far away. It is fine, though. I'll think about it, and maybe I'll ask again. Thank you for bringing it up with me. It was not even a thought in my mind. Huh? Oh, right. No, my arms do not hurt at all. You've likely never seen my bare arms before, right? Well, I tend to cover them for a reason. My scales are a bit more flared and visible during my bouts of illness, and I needed to let them breathe a little bit. Oh. Well, I assume you must know a little bit about Atticus, yes? I did mention my lineage when we first met, but I suppose it is more complicated than that. The queens and royal family of Atticus are of dragonfolk blood. We are the direct descendants of the Lord of Dragons, King Cadebell, and his oath-sworn mate, Lady Vendre. It is said that their bond and blood runs deep and cannot be smothered with time. I suppose you humans don't necessarily have something like that. Well, for us Storia, specifically of royal blood, we have a certain person for us. Someone who is bound to us through fate and magic. They may be Storia, human, or Vorso. Although it is a matter of chance and time to figure out who. We may not always meet them in our lifetime, and we'll have to meet them in the next. There are tells, as I'm told, and there is one surefire way to know, to make the oath complete. But I myself am unsure what they are. Well, Primus managed to find hers, but she refused to tell me. No, I'm not sure why, but I suppose it must be embarrassing then. She's composed most times, but around her oath-sworn mate, she's a fool, as she puts it. I suppose I'll understand if I meet them in my lifetime. But This is a fate all of us share. To find the one for us, like our ancestors did. But apart from this, all children of blood continue to bear the scales of Kincaid Bell. We also all hear the voice of the wind, as you've heard before. Some less than others, but... Our green eyes were supposedly thanks to Lady Vendre. No. I've read quite a few books, but there are no records of what she was exactly, other than partly human. Though many visible traits and abilities of our predecessors have been a toss-up. My half-brother, Silex, for example, has beautiful, dark, bird-like wings he inherited from grandfather. Me? I'm not sure. Physically, I suppose I look elven-like, similar to my father. I also have fangs and scales. I'm not very sure about the fangs, but otherwise, when it comes to abilities, well, I'm also not sure. I've never gotten a real chance to try anything. Though, my earth magic, it likely stems from the first queen of Beldflos. Indeed, she was an ally of Empress Era all those centuries ago. I believe she must have been blessed by the conduits of the god Okassus himself. Her magic was intense and powerful, and her political prowess was unmatched. I am quite prideful in my bloodline. I just wish that, well, I was stronger to truly test those abilities. Perhaps someday. Well, I'm glad you have so much faith in me. I truly appreciate your presence here. But should you not be going? I'm sorry I've kept you here for so long. I hope I did not bore you. Huh? But you've helped to plan this all out. You can't miss it, can you? I see. I suppose the celebration will last a little while then. Well, if you wouldn't mind, will you keep me company for a little while more? Well, it is up to you. Stay as long as you'd like. Even the whole night if you wish. No, I'm not joking. I really wouldn't mind. I like you. I like talking to you. It's peaceful, in a way. I've only ever really talked to my siblings. I don't have many friends, and generally it's only correspondence through letters. To have you here is a blessing. It is true. It's not a jest. It is something entirely new to me. I've been sheltered for so long, and it just feels like I can breathe with you. Ever since I arrived here, I've experienced so many new things. I've seen so many new sights, met so many new people. Even the wind here is slightly different. There's been nothing else like it. You've allowed me to explore all these new things too. The beach was wonderful. The smell of salt, the tropical breeze in my hair, the warm sand beneath my feet, the color of the water. It is a memory I will keep dear forever. So thank you for allowing me to experience all these new things. Even if it might be for the last time. Don't make that face. I really do wish I could stay here to explore even more of Morena and to discover more about myself. But after the council is done with their meetings, I will head back again, likely for good. I won't be allowed out, not after becoming ill like this. So, thank you. I don't mean to be rude or to... I don't know. But I knew what your intentions were at the beginning. The rumors and your demeanor toward me made it click. I was likely just another girl to you. A pretty princess, a naive one, who would fall for your sweet smile and charming voice. I must tell you a secret, though. Although I admit it isn't much of one. I fell. I like you. I cannot lie about my attraction towards you. My heart feels as if there is a string tugging it toward you. There is an indescribable longing I have. And this is new. I've never had such feelings before. I've never had romantic feelings. Ones that make my stomach bubble and my heart pound so loudly I can hear it in my ears. I might call myself a fool. I admit it. I am concerned. You are well experienced with this sort of thing, romance and the like. Well, I am not. For all I know, I will simply be another girl to forget. Another girl who doesn't matter to you. Well, it certainly feels like it, since all those other girls have become nothing too. While you'll be the first man I ever come to like, perhaps even love. I hope that I too can become precious to you, to be special, like in all those stories I've read. So, I have a favor to ask of you. In my remaining days here in your lovely land, I would like it if you pretended, at least. Pretend that I have become precious to you for a little while. I'm sorry it is such an odd request. You are someone I have come to care for very deeply, even within this short span of time. It is a silly thought, but I would like to become the most special person to you. Someone who is best in your eyes, even if it is all an illusion. I must admit, I'd be happy, even if I know it's pretend. At least it would make me feel better, anyhow. I know how it must sound, but I want to love and feel loved. You are my first, even if it is short-lived. At least I was happy during that time. Do not be mistaken. I am not asking you to love me, truly. Just to give me the illusion of it. It is difficult to explain why I feel this way. I want to have a choice. One that is my own. My father has controlled nearly every movement of mine. Who I meet, what I can do, and who I am. I will be cooped up as I have for most of my life. I'll never be able to make true friends. I'll likely never find my oath-sworn mate. Father will likely choose my spouse if he believes it will benefit me. But my choices are not my own. I fear he may choose someone who I can never love. I understand his worries, and I know that he loves me, even if his actions choose to isolate me and hurt me. He does it because he is blind with worry and fear. I understand him, but I am allowed to be angry and saddened at the same time. Thus, with this short reprieve of freedom that I have been granted, my choice is you. To spend these last few weeks truly happy and free. To explore what love might mean and what it can be. But only if you decide to grant me such a favor. I simply ask for your continued kindness, if it is too much. It is selfish of me, after all. I know. It is rather strange, isn't it? I intended to hold these feelings back, but I needed to be honest. Huh? Tell me what? Perhaps you too have experienced something new then? You were nervous because of me? Well, I may be naive, but I want to be straightforward about how I feel. I apologize, though. It is rather cute to see you so flustered. Your heart, it beats so fast. As does mine. Maybe we can explore these new feelings together. If you wouldn't mind. You are who I want. Who I desire. More than anyone else. You've given me so much joy you cannot understand it. Do you feel that indescribable feeling too? It's like a thirst I cannot control. Then it is not me alone. I am incredibly happy. My prince. My lover. It has a nice ring to it. Does it not? I truly hope you don't share my feelings of pure obligation alone. I tease. I know. It would be rather difficult to fake the sound of your rapidly beating heart, or the warmth that colors your cheeks. This is something new, something both of us have yet to experience. A true yearning and pure romance. I knew you were a dream come true when I met you in the gardens. But are you all right? No. You look fine. Handsome, as always. But I just want to make sure that all of this is all right with you. I know it is sudden, and what I said before was rather confusing. I too am a bit worried about how things will pan out. But I simply want to exist in this moment for a little while, to soak up this happiness for a little longer. It feels so right to be in your arms like this. No, I'm okay. I'm more than all right. Actually, I have another favor to ask of you. Can I kiss you? The real kind. Not a greeting or goodbye. A real kiss. The kind between lovers. I wish to explore that sort of thing too. No, I'm alright. I feel fine. I feel rejuvenated, almost, being this close to you. I'll be okay. I swear. I'll tell you if I'm feeling off. I promise. Well, if I may. Is it always this awkward? Oh, I'm certainly nervous. Are you? It is mutual, then. I'm okay. I just feel a bit parched. No. No. Not for water. Ew.